I'm back. What's up, y'all? It's me, Morgan, of Planet Morgan Podcast. Duh. And this is episode 2 of figuring out like what I'm doing in this era of being 21, just in my 20s as a whole. And on this episode, I want to talk about another complication in my life, which is low key is a very, I don't want to say controversial, but it's a subject that literally bounces back and forth between like our generation, because I think everybody, like based off the TikToks that I've seen, I think everyone just thinks that they're the perfect friend. So today's topic of the episode is friendship in my life. Like I said on previous episodes, this podcast, this series is not advice. I'm in no position to give anyone my age advice. This is context. Think of it like storytelling. You know, I'm just trying to figure it out, trying to do this whole life thing, and I'm just documenting it. That's all it is. So with that being said, welcome to Planet Morgan, the Gen Z podcast, the podcast for everybody, starring me, Morgan of Planet Morgan. Like, that's so cool to say. But anyway, I always quote that I'm just enjoying like the beautiful chaos of my life. Sorry, y'all, I love cat's eye. But like this past week, honestly, the whole month of March has like low-key been whooping my ass. Like, I'm not gonna lie. It's been a straight mental battle. But like, it's good though. Like, it's good because I realize I'm still not supposed to have everything figured out. Like, I feel like if I'm going through a mental battle, that means I'm actively pursuing like just good things are coming, because it's not gonna be bad all the time. I really hope that makes sense. Or am I trying to convince myself that I know what I'm doing? I don't know. But to get into it, when I said complication, I don't literally mean complicated, like friendships are complicated. That's not what I meant. I mean, like, I'm still trying to learn them, or learn how to be in one as a 21-year-old. And that's something I feel like I was low-key scared to drop this episode or just record anything about friendship or relationships in general, because a friendship is a relationship. Because like I said, social media, based off the TikToks and reels that I see and story times of people telling stories about like they're like horror stories, like dramatic stories of like friendships that they've been in. That's like, it's always them being on the other side, like a friend did them dirty, but it's never someone telling from their perspective how they were a friend. Like, I've never seen a story time with somebody saying like, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, like, I really didn't give a F about my friend in this scenario. Like, nobody has ever said that. That's what I'm basically explaining of how I've been a friend. But like, I noticed it. And this is not to like brag. I'm not boasting about being a friend. Like, it's nothing to laugh about. Frontal lobe development is what this is about. Me actively learning it. And I don't care to like, I'm going to share it, because like, what you going to do? You're not going to do nothing. So anyway, like I said, when I say complication, I don't mean they're hard for me. I'm still trying to learn how to be in them, but I can feel my brain trying to compute like how to be in them. I hope that like makes sense. Like, oh my gosh, that sounds crazy. But I realized that at the end of the day, a friendship is a relationship, like whether you want to admit it or not. And like, relationships, they take effort and intention and work. And when I was a teenager, I wasn't going for that. I'm not gonna lie. When we were in kindergarten, it was easy. It was so easy to make friends. Like, you waltz in kindergarten on the first day, and you just leave with like 5 friends, because it was so easy. Like, I miss the days like where friendships were just stupid, naive. Like, you could just do dumb stuff. Like, oh, you want to eat dirt? You want to color? Like, what's your favorite color? Like, it was easy. Grown up friendships are not easy, and teenage friendships, they're not easy. I'm not a teenager anymore, but just that whole era of friendships, they're not easy, because like, you grow up, so the friendship grows up. People want more and like need more, and like, oh my God, like it was just a lot. But like I said, kindergarten, you just ended up with friends. Everything was simple. It was surface level. Like, the first day of kindergarten could go 2 ways. You could either bawl your eyes out crying, or, you know, you could walk up there like the queen did, and it's like, what's your favorite color? How you doing today? Like, what's good? I'm not gonna lie. I think I was the kid who was like staring at people, like trying to make them uncomfortable. I probably wasn't saying anything, and I probably had a sharing problem. in kindergarten. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I probably had a sharing problem. I don't remember, or I was probably crying. Like, who knows, bruh? But I noticed the shift. I noticed the shift of the change patterns. Getting older, yeah, maturity. Like the friendship grows as you grow, and it's like that could also go two ways. You could either grow apart or you could grow together and like find, how the friendship dynamic works as you both are realizing like what you need and like what you would want out of a friendship, or like what kind of friend you would want to have, or what kind of friend you want to be. That's just a lot. When I was a teenager, like friendships, they got less surface level, less simple. And it's not it's not uncomfortable. Like, it didn't make me uncomfortable, because I know I said on the last episode I did where like growth makes you uncomfortable. So you have to get comfortable being uncomfortable, or else things like won't change, or like you're never going to grow because you're stuck settling like for what feels safe. It's not uncomfortable. Friendships, or just relearning how to be a friend, or just being a friend in that scenario, it's not uncomfortable for me. It's like holding a sign. Somebody's holding a sign that just says, oh, you're getting older and the friendship will change. But it's not like a bad change. It wasn't good either. Like, the way that I was thinking about it, it wasn't a good change, but it's not uncomfortable. It's just something I notice. And every time I notice something, I'm unfortunately, everything races through my brain. There's like 20 million thoughts in my brain a day off of one scenario. I don't know if anyone else feels like that, but at some point, like, I'm going to have to talk about it. And then I started discovering the two different types of friendships. In high school, probably not freshman year or sophomore year, I barely talked to anyone because I didn't go to the same high school as my friends, like my friends that carried on from middle school. But junior year and senior year of high school, I already said that stress was my op. I don't bang with anything that brings me stress. And I used to separate two types of friendships that like I thought at the time. And it was between low maintenance and high maintenance friendships. And I actually did a podcast episode when I only did audio about this same topic, because, well, actually I don't think I had it, because I think I was just being an a-hole when I did it, and like I went through like a situation with a friend. So I recorded an episode like, you know what? I actually don't mess with high maintenance friendships. You want too much. But I think we were just beefing. I don't think like I actually had a clear perspective of what this was. And so now that I did, there's like a whole brand new perspective of this. I didn't bang with high maintenance friendships. I'm like, you genuinely, like, I'm just your friend. I don't know what I thought a friend was, clearly, if this is how I'm thinking about it. I thought I was doing myself a favor, I guess, by staying away from high maintenance friendships, because vulnerability makes me physically ill. I don't like being put in situations where I can't explain it. I know somebody else can relate. Vulnerability literally is like just sharing with people, or getting into that comfort zone, having to let your emotional wall down, genuinely feels disgusting. Like, I can't. Back in the day, I'm still not the biggest fan of it, but back in the day, teenage era, it was worse, like much, much worse. And what I mean, like I said, I thought I was doing myself a favor by avoiding anything high maintenance, and that would be friendship, relationship, like anything that required effort, because vulnerability goes into the thing with effort, like intention behind starting a friendship or a relationship, or just like keeping it growing and moving, thriving, I guess. I didn't like that, so I stayed away from it. And if it was a high maintenance friendship, I would avoid it, or like leave it alone, cut it off. I was not a fan. Like, I really was not a fan. I just preferred low maintenance friendships. Like, and honestly, this is some of the parts where my frontal lobe was starting to develop. Brand new perspective from 21, by the way. We're back in 21. Why I prefer low maintenance friendships was because they were still dumb and naive. Like, in kindergarten, the only thing you had to worry about really was if they were going to invite you to their birthday party or not. Nowadays, it's like, I don't want to give specific scenarios because I don't know if that's like very sensitive for others, but it's just so much other stuff that goes into being like in a relationship or a friendship now. And even more in 2026, and way more in high school. But the thing was, like, you're expecting so much of me in high school as a friend. And like, I thought I just had to be supportive, like be your rock. Other than that, like, I thought it was good. All that other stuff, like I said, I won't give a specific scenario. I don't know. I don't want to step on nobody's toes. But back in high school, people wanted too much from me, and it was clear and apparent that I wasn't shit. Like, I was not a good friend. So I don't know why you wanted this from me. Like, hey, but you live and you learn, and I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be like that anymore. A shitty friend, because I just didn't want to deal with anything real. And I realized, in high school, some people probably were maturing faster than I was, mentally at least, which is why they felt the need to vent or share, or just their emotional walls were down. Mine were not. So we would bump heads. It just wasn't good. Self-awareness, accountability. I'm taking full accountability. That was just selfish. Everything how I moved, it was selfish, because not only this is this is where it gets crazy. Not only did I want things to be low effort, on their end, which is why I prefer low maintenance friendships, I also wanted it to be low effort on my end. And not necessarily. If I wrote someone off, which this is so crazy about, thinking back on how my brain was moving and functioning when I was a teen, which it's not totally different, but it's I'm noticing changes. It's really crazy though. If I wrote someone off that I felt safe with, that I felt like sharing, okay, I can share. They're probably not going to give a response back. So that's good. I didn't want that. I was also, there's a word for that. I don't know, but I just didn't want them. Don't give me any feedback or nothing. Just let me vent. Let me say what I have to say. And then after that, we could dead it. Dead the conversation. That's what I wanted. But I wanted them to listen. I just didn't want to hear nothing back. So y'all, it was bad. But that was teenage me. It was just really, really bad. And so it's just how does that even work? I wouldn't accept that today. And I wouldn't expect anyone else that I'm around to accept me to treat them like that. Don't cut me off if I'm doing things like that. If I'm not putting in any intention, effort, just to keep the friendship thriving, growing, just being a good friend, leave me. Go, goodbye. Close the door in my face. I'm gonna just have to suck it up and grow from it, learn from it. That should be a learning experience, honestly. Yeah, I noticed my habits as a friend, and even the way I showed up, I liked being the one talking, but if someone else did the same, I would get so internally irritated. And it's okay. I've already said 5 times I've accepted that I used to be a shit friend, but I'm trying not to be actively. I'm actively trying not to be, because I'm my present day comfort zone. I'm still used to low maintenance friendships. However, I've met a lot of new people. I have very new people in my life who I consider my friend now, and the friendship dynamic, one friendship specifically comes to mind when I say low maintenance. It's my best friend, because we could go actually, I'm lying. Me and my best friend, we talk every day, almost every day. If I didn't talk to him one day, then I'd probably be concerned. And I think vice versa, because I didn't talk to him for one day. I'll never forget this. I didn't talk to him for one day, and he called people did you hear from Morgan? Boy, I'm not deceased. I don't know what I was doing. But I feel now, that was when we were teens. Now, I could not talk to him for a day or a couple days, few days, and we'd still be back fine. So I think that's what I'm writing off as low maintenance friendships. That's why I gravitate to that more, because I'm in my space. He's not expecting too much from me, if that makes sense. And there's other friendships too. There's female friends I have that they don't expect for me to give them my whole entire life story and tell them all my business. Am I making any sense? I make sense in my head, but I guess I have to make sense to y'all too, because people watch. But it just feels very low maintenance. We're not expecting too much from each other, because at the end of the day, he still supports anything that I do. I still support anything that he does. We chop it up. We go get food. We go do this, do that, visit each other. It's good. It's just nothing but vibes. So that's why I think I've always gravitated to low maintenance friendships based off of that one friendship. And I guess I wanted all of them to be like that, because it was always low effort. However, meeting new people and meeting a whole bunch of new people, making new friends, meeting new different personalities, different age ranges. Everyone is not the same. Everyone has like different requirements for friends. Everyone is, it's just different. Like, it's just not the same. And that was a whole new ball game, especially going to college. Like, that was a whole new tank. I'm a little fish. They just dropped me in there, whole new tank, whole new school of fish to learn. When I'm making friends, meeting new people, it was just like, you want to do that with me, or why? Like, it genuinely confused me sometimes, especially when I've met a nice amount of people who feel very comfortable venting to me. And because vulnerability, like I said, physically makes my nervous system want to fall out of my body, I never knew how to react. So after y'all got doing that, it would always rub me the wrong way. Like, I would just be like, no, like, she trauma dumped like second week into our friendship. I can't, like, I'm gonna stay away from you. Like, you're very comfortable. Like, you're comfortable. Your emotional walls are down. Mine are not down, girl. I don't know you like that. But it's just like, dang, it can't always be like that. And I was always basing it off one friendship, which is like really sucky. I was also trying to be supportive, but also trying not to give too much of myself or reveal too much of myself. I don't know. It's like protective mode. But who wants to live in survival mode all the time? Which is why I'm glad pieces of this is starting to make sense to me. I'm glad that I am recording this episode, because it's like a breakthrough. I think every episode that I do or am gonna do in this series is like a breakthrough. Like it's actively all coming together, like in real time. Like, you're watching stuff click. Friendships just click to me. But yeah, I do think my issues, they do come from vulnerability and also basing it off that one friendship. But majority of the time, vulnerability. Like I said, it makes me physically uncomfortable. I just don't want to depend on anyone, or didn't want to depend on everyone. I'll speak in past tense. Didn't want to depend on everyone. So I just kept everything in. But it gets exhausting, and sometimes it feels like I'm cosplaying a sane person, or I'm cosplaying this person's friend, because sometimes I feel so out of place and so weird, I guess. Just strange being in this, because I didn't know how to adapt to being your friend. I really was scared to record this episode, but I feel very comfortable admitting this. I haven't seen no one ever goes into depth about how they truly like are. They're truly true, genuine selves, like inside of a friendship, actively like talking about their thought process of trying to become someone's friend. Like, it may not be hard for everyone, or it may not be, because it's not hard, but confusing when you're just trying to relearn something as you get older, as you progress. And I'm pretty sure I'll have the same conversation with myself when I'm like 40, trying to clean coffee cups in the office or something, like with my coworkers. Like, who knows? I don't know. The shift, it started happening now. It started happening around the time when I turned 20. And quite actually, everything changes when you turn 20. Don't let anyone lie to you and say that stuff doesn't change after your 19th birthday, after your 20th birthday, bro. Yeah, no, it's going to be a constant reminder that, like, you're just getting old. You only could get old from here, and everything else has to get old with you. Nothing, you can't go back. Like, you can't go back, so you only have to move forward. Like I said, the shift started happening here, and I'm meeting more people. I've made more friends, and I'm slowly starting, like, my guard is slowly starting to let down, because I realized with the certain friends that I have made, vulnerability and comfort, intention, effort, strengthen the friendship. Like, in high school, I was just like, these friendships really actually won't matter. When I graduate, I probably won't ever see these people again, so I never really cared for it. Yes, I was a shit friend, but it wasn't like terrible. Like, I just wanted to keep it surface level. And like I said, I'm not trying to make excuses for being a bad friend. That's not my intentions. I think it's very, very complicated. I don't know if it's complicated for y'all, but it's complicated for me. Yeah, I just wanted to keep them same kindergarten friendships. Like, what's your favorite color? Why we gotta go into like depth? Why do we have to come behind all of this? Because inside of all of this is a effing mess. Like, inside of this mask that I'm wearing right now is an effing mess. And I ain't trying to tap into that with you right now. So we just kept it surface level, like, it was easier that way in high school. Now, people see right through that shit. College friends, it's like, you either talk about it, we gonna talk about it, something. Like, at a certain point, it's gonna happen, the conversation will happen, because I have very attentive friends, so they notice a lot. They notice, like, very subtle changes, small changes in my personality, in my tone, like just anything. And I'm glad that I have mature friends. They've caused me to mature, want to grow up in a way. I mean, I have on Shrek shoes, but like in a way, like I guess to want to have those hard conversations, because it just once you get through that hard conversation, everything's like 10 times easier. Nobody ever doubles back on the conversation. Like, we had it, it's cool, you good, I'm good, it's good. I don't think vulnerability is a weakness. I don't see it as that anymore. Especially now doing this podcast, it's made me grow, like ever since audio, because I've had no problem sharing on here. I've had like no issue, especially my older episodes on Spotify. I've had no issue sharing anything. I'm like an open book now, because I realize I'm not the only one who's dealt with that. Like, I know I'm not alone for a fact, but there's very few people who can sit here and admit it, or just want to talk about it and want to actively get better. I'm one of the few people that wants to do the opposite of that. I want to talk about it. And I think that's a part of me growing up, me maturing, me realizing that vulnerability is a superpower. It's cool experiencing vulnerability from others. And I've had friends now vent to me and open up to me and like just want to talk about everything. Another specific friendship comes to mind, and I love our conversations the most. I love the conversations that we have the most, because we're so similar. And then I always end up feeling seen. Like, I never feel judged. And I think that's another thing. I was fear of being perceived in high school, because I wasn't the only asshole. Like, it wasn't just me. There was a million assholes just sitting in the class thinking that we're all better than everybody. It was not just me. Like, I know it wasn't just me. I'm just sitting here talking about it today and how I don't want to be like how I was in high school. There's still probably college assholes right now sitting in a classroom, which good for them, I suppose. Just stay away from me. But fear of being perceived and fear of perception in high school is way much worse. Middle school too, all that, and I think that's where it stemmed from. It started in middle school, got stronger in high school, and I'm just like, you know what, F it. I'm cool off any friendship that wants me to show my genuine self, because y'all are probably going to judge me. Like, y'all are going to talk about me, so I stayed in my shell. It was just easier that way than like somebody laughing at you or somebody talking about you or gossiping or telling the next person. Like, we were so weird. We were weird in high school. We were weird in middle school. We never just minded our business and like truly lived our authentic selves, which is why I think so many people pump fake today, because they never learned. Like, they stayed in the shell the entire time, that they are so afraid to now show or reveal who they really are today. Wow. That's not a note on the computer. Don't know where that came from, but it was really good. I have friends now today where like I don't feel judged. I feel seen. I feel appreciated. Like, my time doesn't feel wasted. They like listen to me and they care about my responses. And like I said, at first it threw me for a loop when this one friend truly, she will ask me questions that really, it's like, I still react like that. It's like, why are you asking me that? Like, why do you care about this type of thing? Or like, why do you want to talk about that? But once you get past that, and I realize that sometimes I really do be having a lot to say. Like, I could go on and on and on. It's no secret that I'm a yapper. Like, I literally been sitting here this whole time, mouth nonstop, just, but she will want to have conversations with me about things that I never thought people would ever want to talk about. Like, I genuinely thought I was a weirdo for wanting to talk about these certain things or just have these conversations or just anything. But I know that she's one of the friends that is on the same page as me. Like, she sees me. Like, she'll have something to say, and then we'll just go back and forth on the topic. We can have friendly debates. It's good. Like, it's so good. The conversations are so good. But at first, yeah, like I said, I just didn't get it. I didn't understand at first. At first, I will keep putting emphasis on at first. Vulnerability, again, still not the biggest fan. It just made me like cringe on the inside. What's on the inside? Is this respiratory? Is respiratory like your lungs and stuff? Respiratory is the lungs. Whatever system. I'm pretty sure respiratory is the lungs, though. It's lungs and some other stuff. But we're going to go respiratory. It makes my whole respiratory system do this. Like, that's what it feel like. It feel like everything is cringing. Like, my spine wants to jump out of my body or something. Like, I don't know why I haven't gotten to the bottom of that yet, but I am growing through it. Haven't found out where it stemmed from, but I am working on it. So like that's a win is a win. You feel me? But yeah, now I appreciate the friendships that I do have. I appreciate vulnerability. I appreciate, that's why I said frontal lobe. I'm learning, I'm working through it. But now I appreciate it. Now I appreciate growing with friends. I appreciate the vulnerability from myself to my friends, from my friends to myself. Like, I appreciate the entire dynamic. I'm still not the biggest fan of it. Sometimes it will catch me off guard of someone like being open and honest with me. Sometimes I'll be like effing awkward and not know how to respond or react, but I get it now. I appreciate the shift. Like, I appreciate learning this. I appreciate people who actually listen. I appreciate people who make me feel safe and comfortable enough to want to be vulnerable, to want to open up, to want to just, yeah, all that in a bag of chips. I just appreciate friendships that are mutual on both sides, including myself. I told y'all I'm working through it, so I was a friend. I have stepped up to mediocre friend. And maybe in like a year, I'll be on W friend. And this is just how I think about myself. I don't know how like my actual friends view me. Like, they could be like, Morgan, you're actually not a friend. I've never asked anyone a perspective, but I mean, I still have friends, and I've had tough conversations with my friends. And I've also had like really good friendships where nothing ever happens. But this is how I think about myself. I don't know. I don't know how like my friends view me, and it could be the totally opposite, or it could be the same. If you are my friend, like, you know me, you're my friend, let me know. Do you think I'm a shitty friend, or do you think I'm doing a decent job? I really don't know. This is just my perspective. It's always my perspective. But yeah, I appreciate friendships that are mutual on both sides. And yeah, I appreciate the friendships that have grown with me from every era, because I have friendships from insecure middle school, terrible high school, confusing college, all of that. I have friendships that have stemmed from middle school all the way up to now. New friends as well. They've met me in the growing state, and people have seen me grow. Like, it's actually crazy. But it's like, we're not children anymore. We're not kids. So you can't just randomly make friends off asking like, what's your favorite color, or just stuff like that. It actually requires effort and intention and honesty and kindness and like so many other aspects. Like, you have to want it. You have to want the friendship to work. You have to want relationships to work. So you have to put in the effort. You want to put in the effort. And I appreciate the friends really and truly that make me want to put in the effort to keep our friendship alive, because I'm not gonna lie, I have some W friends. I have really good friends. I have effing amazing friends. Like, lucky to have them in my life. So I'm trying to be a better friend. This is me talking about me trying to be a better friend. It also takes vulnerability. I think that was the last key point of the day. It also takes vulnerability, which I'm still not the biggest fan of, but I do get it. I understand it. I understand it. And I think I'm finally becoming the type of friend that I would want to have. I want a good friend, so I have to be a good friend first. And that's all I got for y'all. That was W Vintage. I feel good. I'll see y'all next time. Planet Morgan is out, y'all.